What type of girl are you? No baby hair or baby hair? In this video, I'm going to show you how I go for both looks. The best part about it is that this wig is actually glueless, so if this sounds like your speed, then just keep watching. ISEE Hair sent me this ash blonde glueless unit, and I love a glueless unit, but I love even more so that it's so unique in color. This is how it's constructed on the inside, and it does have a band to keep it secure since I will be wearing it glueless. It came pre-plucked and pre-cut, so I really didn't have to do anything to this wig but put it on and style it. So let's get to it. I put my wig cap on and I made sure that it was in a good position so that I can start applying the makeup. I'm applying like several shades darker than me to the cap because sometimes, especially if the lace is thin, which this lace is thin, you can see the cap underneath the wig. So to make sure I really can't see it, I had to make the cap way darker than my actual skin color so that you won't be able to see it through the lace. So I'm not gonna lie, when I put this wig on initially, I was kind of like nervous because I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this jacket is what's throwing it off, or I was nervous. But I parted it down the middle and I just kept going, and then I started to hot comb the top of my head to start getting it flat. And this is when I really noticed that the lace is super thin, like how I was saying. This lace is beautiful. It's so thin. It melts into my skin so well. No glue. I can only imagine if they had glue. So to start, doing a little 1-2 to the unit, I started off by defining my part. Before, the part was there but not really, so to really make sure that it pops out, makes this wig look laid and more realistic, I'm using a concealer that I probably would use to highlight my face, and I'm dragging it down the center. I really wanted to make sure that the coats of concealer were even, so I did that as long as I needed to make that part look even. And then I had to get kind of creative. I don't have a spray color that is the color of these roots, so I took some makeup and I basically made that line super straight by using some dark brown eyeshadow to touch up my roots and to make that part look better. And then I used some wax at the top of my head and I hot combed that in. I am a perfectionist. Sometimes it's kind of annoying how much of a perfectionist I am, so I did go back and I sharpened that part up just a little bit more with the eyeshadow that I showed you. The eyeshadow did have some fallout and it will fall like into the part and it'll make the part start to look dark. So I did have to go back into the concealer and clean that up a little bit. And I would just do that back and forth as much as I needed to get my part to look good enough for me to be able to move on happily in my spirit. So after I got that done, I went back to hot combing the top. Another like perfectionist thing, I just passed the hot comb over the top of my roots over and over and over again until it is as flat as I want it to be. Next, I moved on. I just started to flat iron the hair. I love this heat protectant. Silk Elements, they have amazing heat protectants. Everything I'm using, by the way, will be linked in my description box if you don't want to go search it up for yourself. But the heat protectant doesn't weigh down the hair. It doesn't make it look sticky, but it makes the hair look so lightweight, and it gets it so silky straight. Like, y'all saw the hair when I put it on initially, but I did wash it. So it didn't come like how it looks on the left, but after I hot combed it, look at it. It looks so good. It looks so weightless. It looks so flowy. The hair was so soft. I really want to try more hair from them because the lace was so thin. It melts into my skin like so easy. The hair is so silky. Like, I will run my hands through the hair throughout the day and I'm like, this hair is soft. Like, hair is always soft when you initially get it, but it was soft. So that's all I had to do to get that traditional, clean, sleek closure look. Clearly I'm not over the lace. I keep looking at it like, where did it go? I did not cut this lace. I did not pluck nothing. That's crazy, right? But Moving on to how I would add baby hair on a wig like this. I part out the baby hair and I like to hot comb the rest of the hair going back because I really don't want it to get in my way as I'm swooping the baby hair or whatever. And I also hot comb the baby hair going forward so that I could start getting the roots flat and getting the roots laid. And to keep the rest of the hair back and out my way, I like to spray a small baby hair brush with some got to be or some spritz, whatever holding spray it is that I have, and I brush the roots going back. It is going to have kind of a pushed back look when it's done anyway, so I don't mind putting some holding spray on it to keep it out my way, especially right now, because it's annoying. Like when I start swooping baby hair, for me to be grabbing onto other hair that's not supposed to be there, it's just annoying, and it gets to look really clean when I do this. So do you think this is even? Does it look even on both sides? I think it's even. So I went ahead and I cut it. I cut it from I cut it from shortest to longest, and then I used the mousse to swoop them. I've been saying this in my past few videos where I have baby hair, that my favorite baby hair swooping product is mousse. I could add some more if it's not swooping how I need it to swoop. It's not going to get hard too fast. It's not going to get messy. I love mousse. And if I want my baby hair to be soft, all you have to do is wait until it dries and comb it out and you'll have fluffy baby hair. I love mousse. I would sit there and I would manipulate the baby hair as long as it takes for me to get the swoop how I want it to be. Once I was done with that side, I moved on to this side, and I was just trying to get it to look as similar as possible. It took some time. It probably took like 5 minutes on one swoop, which 5 minutes doesn't seem long, but to just be swooping something that's kind of long. So I really take my time. I like to like my hair, and there's no point in me doing this and rushing it if I'm only going to be disappointed when I look at myself or when I look back at my clips or whatever. I like to like it, so I take my time and I try to get it right. I could tell like this swoop is going lower than the swoop on the other side, so I compare them as I go to make sure that they're even, and then I blow dry them until they were dry, and then I comb the rest of the hair down in place where it's supposed to be, hot combing a little bit more as well just to get it shaped and molded and falling where it needs to be. I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed this corner right here was looking kind of empty. It didn't look like the other side, and I tried to move on. I tried to ignore it, but it was bothering me. I had to go back, pull out some more hair, cut it, and add that into my swoop because it was bothering me. Even after the hair fell down, you could see that it was empty. So I'm like, okay, no, I have to fix it. And then I looked back at the other side and I noticed that it's kind of empty over here too, because the hair that was laying there, it was not necessarily baby hair. It was just stuck. So I had to pull some hair out and cut it and add that to the swoop too. Like, I had to get it to look the same. If I notice it, I'ma fix it. There is no ignoring for me. Like, if you see it, just fix it, because I'ma just not be happy later. So once I made myself happy with what my baby hair looked like, I just went and I did the final touches. I added a little bit more got to be to the roots, and I used that got to be to help me mold the top how I wanted it to be. I wanted the hair closest to the middle part to be pushed back, but then I wanted everything to start just falling down flat on my face how a middle part usually is. And once I got that how I wanted it to, I used the hot comb some more in the back of the hot comb just to get it very flat where the closure would meet the tracks, and I sprayed some got to be at the top to control my flyaways and just to get the top very crispy. I like the top of my head flat and crispy and neat, and I also like to sometimes spray my comb with some spritz, and I comb that through the hair to control any flyaways, and I was done. So now that you've seen me style both looks, which type of girl are you? Do you like no baby hair or do you prefer the baby hair look? I personally, I like both. It depends what I'm wearing, it depends where I'm going, it depends my mood, it just depends. But I personally, I like both. I wear both, but you know, it's nice to have options. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this hair. It feels good on my fingers. I really like the lace. It is so thin. I don't know if y'all remember, but at no point in this video did I add any glue, any gel to this lace, but it looks like the lace is not there. One of the thinnest laces I've ever worked with so far. I'm not even kidding. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this and more. But thank you so much for watching.
Okay, we hijacked the channel. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe and comment. Peace out, y'all. That makes lots of money off of TT stuff. Yes, yes, yes.